I know that all of you guys had this feeling. We are yet to see Jura's full power. And this is what is basically confirmed in the most recent chapter. But not only does it confirm that Jura hasn't shown us his full power, it confirms that we are yet to see his final form. And we're going to be breaking this down in this video. The first thing we have to understand is Jura's character. And with Jura's entire character, we can see that it has dealt with love and understanding it. We have finally started to see the series confirm the pattern that we have all noticed. With every single senju, we have started to witness different forms of love. This is the case with Ryu, Matsuri, Hidari, Momoshiki, and even Jura. And one thing that has been expressed by Jura himself is the fact that he wants to come to understand what love is, as from his point of view, he views love to be irrational. Inogen saving Himawari, which costed him his life. Konohamaru not being able to kill Matsuri, even though Matsuri was right in front of her eyes, dealing with the mission that he was given by Shikamaru, but yet he could not finish the job. All these moments seem to confirm Jura's belief. But yet, in the most recent chapter, the exact thing that Jura seems to view as irrational and that he is trying to understand, he has fallen in love. And this is not the romantic love that I'm talking about, but Jura has now been confirmed to be experiencing what love truly is, although he does not understand it or realize it. As Hidari points it out himself, the fact that Jura's behavior when it comes to him has been different when it came to every single senju. He could have saved Ryu, he could have saved Matsuri, but yet he didn't. But the only person who he did risk a lot to save was Hidari. He chose Hidari over the other senju. And when we look at that circumstance in particular, we see that it is very important, because back in the days, a lot of people were saying how it was a dumb move for Jura not to simply kill Boruto, who was the person who had all this knowledge when it came to the Torn Soul Bulb and how exactly to make sure that the people alive come back to life. And he said that he has to kill Boruto due to the threat that Boruto is. But yet, when the fact of Hidari's Torn Soul Bulb rotting was explained, Jura immediately left that big threat and dealt with Hidari. This moment was irrational from our point of view, but due to the fact that it is confirmed that Jura views Hidari differently and possesses love for Hidari, this makes perfect sense why he made that move, and it confirms that Jura is experiencing love. But while Jura describes love and all of its negative side effects is irrationality, the story hasn't just shown us that perspective. It has shown us evidence for it, but that's not the only evidence that we have seen. This comes with the duality of love itself, as the story has shown us a contrast within those beliefs. As yes, Inogen's moves when it came to Himawari and trying to protect Himawari from getting devoured, even though he knew that he could not beat Jura, was completely irrational. Although this is true, this love that he has for Himawari is the exact same thing that allowed Inogen to become stronger, allowed Inogen to showcase his resolve, to grow confidence, to learn all of these various abilities that he ended up learning, being the MVP in the Momoshiki arc. Without Inogen, Momoshiki would have not been defeated, sacrificing his eyes in the process, doing everything because of his love when it comes to Himawari. This is the same for Himawari herself too. Her love for Inogen is what allowed her to finally tap into those powers that she couldn't do on her own before. While during the entire time that Kurama was trying to press Himawari on finally being able to utilize her abilities, she simply could not. But when Inogen was in danger and it looked like he was dead, Himawari was finally able to awaken her true state because Jura took away what she loved, and that love ended up allowing her to become even more powerful. We see this being the same with Sarada and Boruto. The love that they have for one another is what ultimately allows them to get stronger. This is the duality of love. The fact that yes, love can be irrational, but it is within that irrationality that love shows its true power. to allow a person to become stronger, show more resolve, and show up for the ones that they love, because they do not want that person or thing that they love to be destroyed or eliminated. And with Jura, who is now experiencing love, it is going to be the same thing for him. As when the love that Jura has for Hidari is taken away or attempted to be taken away, just like we have seen with everybody else, Jura will awaken his true power. And that is what is really scary about this upcoming arc, as this arc finally has to do with the one person that Jura loves. And love is what is going to allow Jura to finally tap into his true power. And why do I say that Jura may have a final form? When you look at who Jura is, it has been pretty clear to us, especially after the fact that Jura came to the village. Boruto describes to us exactly what Jura is. He is the incarnation of the Ten Tails. Some people still grapple with this, but it seems pretty clear to me. Jura is the incarnation of the Ten Tails that gain sentience. As unlike everybody else, Jura doesn't have an identity that stems from somebody else, like a shinobi, somebody who was bitten by a clawgram. That is not the case for Jura at all. However, what has been the case is the fact that we have been told that he is the incarnation of the Ten Tails. So this is basically the Ten Tails gaining sentience. And what is important to see is the fact that in the Ten Tails form, he ends up having a Rinne Sharingan. But Jura has not showcased that at all. We do know that all of the Senju have a Rinnegan, but he hasn't showcased a Rinne Sharingan. And I believe that this is going to be the case for Jura, because we know that we haven't seen him tap into his full power. Even when Kawaki taps into incredible powers that we haven't seen before, Jura still looks dominant and is absolutely crazy, pulling off moves that we didn't see him before. But yet, he still hasn't shown us everything. I believe that Jura will have a form when he is finally going all out after something happens to Hidari. And that happening due to the love he had for Hidari and that bond being broken, he will awaken this crazy power where he has the Rinne Sharingan. And that to me is sure to happen. So why exactly does Jura and Hidari have this bond? Jura is the incarnation of the Ten Tails, and Hidari is just Sasuke. What does Sasuke have to do with the Ten Tails that is so different than anybody else? There are multiple theories out there, but I'll just give my own before we dive deep onto other community theories that people have. One theory, and I'm gonna say this to be 100% honest, a lot of these theories we just can't know. I can't tell you guys percentage wise which one are more likely to be the case, due to the simple fact that this connection between Hidari and Jura is something that is clear and evident, but why it is there is something that I can't say is clear. But one simple fact is that Sasuke was one of the people that ended up meeting with the Ten Tails. And unlike all the other people who we have seen meet with the Ten Tails, Sasuke simply looked at the Ten Tails and didn't try to do anything towards him. When it came to people like Code, we ended up seeing that Code simply ended up using and abusing the Ten Tails. And we see with Jigen/Ishiki, he came there to take his chakra. One thing that has clearly been made clear is the fact that the Ten Tails has always been a tool. And since the Ten Tails is a juvenile Ten Tails, the only real people that I would say and guess that he has met would have been Code and Ishiki/Jigen. Those two people tried to use him as a tool. And now that Jura has gained sentience, there may be a connection towards Sasuke being the only person who simply did not try and use the Ten Tails as a tool. Maybe that is where the love and connection between Hidari and Jura truly lies. But it is not a full-fledged theory, it is just something that we can maybe put an idea out there for their personal connection. But I definitely do feel like it is going to be revealed very soon, or at least in this upcoming arc, why Jura favors Hidari over everybody else. But there are other theories, this is not the only one. And the most liked theory that was posted in the community post was this one, and it's by Rene Bruh. He does have a YouTube channel, so you guys also check him out. He says this: I believe since Sarada will be captured and used as bait by Jura and Hidari, Hidari will have to protect Sarada. leading to his instincts being overwritten by Sasuke's love. This will affect Hidari eternally, and will make him question who he is since he has never felt love like this before. Jura will attempt to convince him that the part of him that is Sasuke isn't him. Since Jura is connected to the Senju, he will feel Hidari's eternal struggle and will realize that their friendship is in danger. After Hidari felt something like this, I'm actually about to make a YouTube video on this theory on my own. So if you guys have the time, definitely go check him out. And that is a pretty cool theory, due to the simple fact that there has been a lot of theories concerning the fact of Hidari potentially being the one Senju that is not actually fully in Jura's side, where he may potentially be the spy or the potential person to reverse the condition that he finds himself in, where Sasuke will get almost a level of autonomy over Hidari. And this is very intriguing due to the fact that there actually is a lot of evidence for this. One major piece of evidence is the fact that with Momoshiki, we do end up knowing that he has the memories of his previous self, where he knew innately what was Damon's weakness when it came to his pawns. Those memories were still stored inside Momoshiki. And when it comes to Ikemoto himself, we do know that with all of the Senjus, the personality that they are displaying is their true personality, where they are not trying to reserve anything at all. This is what he gave us concerning Ryu in an interview. So if Hidari ends up tapping into his memories, and he ends up realizing what Sarada really is towards him, as when it came to Momoshiki, he doesn't really like Damon and the others, he hated them, even though he has those memories unlocked. He doesn't end up hating Sarada at all. In fact, he loves Sarada. So because of those emotions that he feels and those memories that he has, there is a strong possibility that if somebody is to wake up or maybe like snap out or gain possession of the Senju, or maybe Hidari himself no longer wanting to target Sarada, I think Hidari is the one person I would truly believe it is possible for this to occur in. The next comment is by Sunny Geek, and he says his target is Naruto. Hidari is effectively Sasuke, some sort of six-path powers. And this is definitely also a possibility. We know that Hagoromo Otsutsuki gave them powers, so since he is an Otsutsuki, the powers that he gave them must have some sort of Otsutsuki influence. So when it comes to all of the other Senju, who has the most Otsutsuki influence, it would definitely be Hidari. And what is also pretty interesting is the fact that why do we think that Jura ended up targeting Naruto? The theory of why he targeted Naruto was due to the fact that Naruto has all of the Tail Beast chakra, and due to the connection that he might feel towards somebody like Naruto compared to everybody else. So when it comes to Sasuke, the closest person to Naruto when it comes to similar abilities, removing the Tail Beast side, it would be Sasuke, due to him also having some sort of Otsutsuki influence while not being a full Otsutsuki. We know that Hagoromo played it a lot when it comes to previous Tail Beasts, so the chakra that he has is the most similar to that of Naruto's, due to a portion of Naruto's powers having come from Hagoromo Otsutsuki. So the other person apart from Naruto that he may deem to have a connection with, and also apart from Himawari, would be Hidari. So Sasuke being turned into a Senju, that of Hidari, the person who he relates more to, the person who he seems to have this better connection with, would definitely be Hidari. So this could be a possible explanation. The next comment is by Tsunami CJ, and he says they are kind of like siblings in a way. Hidari is made from Sasuke, so like he still retains loyalty and love. Jura is still trying to grow mentally and experience all things a human normally would as well. He wants to understand how love makes someone stronger. And this also points to another comment by the likes of Abdeli. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, but he says, I would say because Hidari was the first, and also because he is an Uchiha whom experienced love at a different level according to the second Hokage. And these comments are kind of similar due to the simple fact that yes, it is a strong possibility that Sasuke was either the first or second Senju to be born. And when it comes to the chakra levels that he possesses, out of all the different people that were turned into a Senju, he possesses the most chakra. And one thing about love, just like the second Hokage said, the Uchihas feel love at such a higher degree. And this being the case, points him to having the best connection with Jura, as he is somebody who is trying to come to understand what love truly is, and the person who feels it the most are the Uchihas, who Hidari comes from. Hidari is born from Sasuke. So these are some wonderful theories, so I would like to hear what are all of you guys' opinion in the comment section below. Which theories are you guys gravitating towards, and how would you really explain this connection between Jura and Sasuke? But to understand more about Jura's potential final form, you have to watch this video right here.